Hello and welcome back to Everything is Fanfiction. I'm your host, Messed Up Fan, and I have some very, very special news to share with everyone today. Please welcome my new official co-host, Miranda.
I have the pups with me.
The people have spoken. How do you feel about your new title?
I feel powerful. I feel like I could take on the Avengers.
Nice. Nice.
Probably lose.
Oh my god, look at the new logo. Like, how do you feel about it? Having your name on there.
I would like to make a request to add Marley and Augie to it because they've been here for every episode. They need their co-host credit.
It can't be too...
Sometimes they speak. It just cut out.
I said it can't get too crowded on the thing. I just trying to keep us
We're being
simple.
censored.
Oh my god.
Censorship.
Not the censorship.
The Wells racist.
Everyone always yells at me because they're always claiming I'm censoring. I'm just like, I don't need to see another picture of Thanos' I'm deleting it.
No. Yeah, Bolts before the Discord would send me pictures repeatedly of Pietro straddling Vision.
No.
Yes,
That's
repeatedly.
That's horrendous.
Multiple times before we even knew each other. It was just like in my ask. Multiple times. Unprovoked.
What? That wasn't even a dare.
It was an act of war. It was an act of war.
Now I know why. Now it all makes sense.
We have history.
I didn't even know it went that far back.
Drop a comment down below if you think that that's an act of war. This is very off topic of what our topic
is.
Yes.
I was like, I didn't write a thing for the topic. But today we're talking about Pretty Little Liars because I was really into the show. I wasn't like active in the fandom. Cause
I was active in the fandom.
Oh yeah, you were. But
I've been everywhere.
You've been everywhere, because
I've seen things.
I was still only reading Hunger Games fanfiction when this show was going on.
Well, I participated.
And I felt satisfied with what I was watching, even though like it kept like pissing me off with some of the couples. I just didn't feel like I needed to read somebody else's version of like Spencer and Toby, or like I just didn't need it. So
listen, this is gonna be controversial now as an adult, knowing what we know.
Mm-hmm.
But I was a very big Emily Ellison shipper. Knowing what we know is that like the actress who played Allison was very underage in the beginning.
Yeah.
And she was kissing grown women, grown men. It's just very exploitive.
Yeah.
Exploitive.
And she talked about this on the new Pretty Liars podcast, and she was like, it wasn't okay, but it just was at the time. And I was like, that's so sad.
So,
but
I was also very young. I was like, I don't know, either middle school or high school when I was writing the fan fiction for them too. So I also wasn't old enough to understand. As an adult now, would I support that couple? Absolutely not. No, because even though I know that they're playing older and younger, I would know in my head that is a child making out with an adult.
Yeah.
But yes, I was an Emerson shipper, a former Emerson shipper.
Think about that aspect of it. That whole show was all screwed up because I was an Ezria shipper. Regrettably so.
Oh, that's even worse.
That's even worse.
Honestly, that's even worse.
Because like on the show,
bold-faced, like,
you know,
you.
Because you actually know that Arya is supposed to be a child,
a minor,
and he is
sleeping with an adult.
He is an adult, and he's her teacher, and
he continues to pursue her.
I didn't see a problem with it as a kid. I don't know why.
And then they get married.
But Did you know that it was a book series?
Stockholm
Did you read
Syndrome.
the books?
I read almost all the books. I
Oh
read the
wow.
Gossip Girl books too,
Oh wow.
which we can discuss
Wow, you
at a
read
later date.
everything. You were like
I was a big
involved.
reader.
You
I was
were
a very big. I read
deep.
the Percy Jackson series.
Oh wow.
I read the Divergent series. I read Hunger Games. I read Gossip Girl, Pretty Little Liars, Aristotle and Dante. Um,
You know how to
Honestly, if it was a fandom,
bomb
I
stuff.
probably read it.
Yeah. I started
Very big reader.
the Percy Jackson series because at the time I was talking to someone and they really liked it. And so I was like, oh, I'll read too. And then I don't read those books. I didn't
I
finish
will
them.
say I started the Percy Jackson series on my own accord because I liked it, and then I became very obsessed with like Greek mythology
No, Greek
and like
mythology is
all
really
that.
cool. And I am kind of sad that like I didn't finish those books and I could at some point because I have them
Future
downloaded on my
episode.
phone.
Drop a comment down below if you think we should discuss Percy Jackson in a future episode.
Oh my god, we are gonna
Percy
have
Jackson.
so many things for season 2.
There's so many fandoms. There's
There's so
so
many
much fandoms
fandoms.
now.
I know. We could honestly keep the show going for a long time because there's only going to be more, and then there's going to be more things to talk about within each fandom, with a lot of them coming back, like how Disney Plus started the Percy Jackson series again with an actual series.
Which I have not watched yet.
I haven't watched that
I have
either.
not watched.
I think I watched the first movie.
I watched both movies.
But I haven't.
Logan Lerman was the perfect Percy, but he was just too old to be playing early Percy.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway,
Yeah.
circling back to what you were saying earlier about feeling content with how the story was going on Pretty Little Liars, I, as an Emma skipper, was not content with how
Yeah.
things were going, which, as many people know, is what leads you to fan fiction because you're not happy with how the
Yeah.
content's going in the story. So you gotta
And
make your own or find something that fits your own like wants.
yeah, and they didn't, like inspire anything for me other than trying to write a Katniss and Peeta version of Ezra and Arya.
Oh my god, you wrote Katniss and Peeta? Oh my god, why?
Because I thought that was okay.
Drop a red flag.
Because
Drop a red flag down below everything. No, also red flag for doing that.
no. I wrote
The
a
fact that you
few.
made Peeta and Katniss were age appropriately together,
I actually did make.
inappropriately.
So I did write a few different Katniss and Peeta fan fictions. You could never find them; they're deleted, and long gone. And I
I will
reused
find them.
no, because I'm on the same account that I used to be on. I just changed the name
Everything is
and
on the
deleted
internet.
everything.
Everything stays on the internet forever.
No, it doesn't.
Forever.
Forever.
If anyone knows
Forever.
what I'm mentioning, what I'm referencing when I say that, drop a comment down below. Anyway,
yeah, but is it true that Ezra was like arrested in the books?
I don't remember that honestly. It's been so long because I also was reading the books at the peak of the series.
Yeah, that's
And
a long time
as
ago.
the listeners of the podcast know, if they've been following along with the lore, I've been in many of fandoms.
Yeah.
And read many of fan fictions and books and written fan fiction. So honestly, sometimes it just blurs together in my head.
Oh.
I will say I remember Gossip Girl the book series more because it was so vastly different from the
show.
actual series. Yeah.
Oh wow.
But like I said, we'll talk about that at a later date.
Yeah.
So I don't remember. I know that A is different in the books and it makes more sense in the books. Because spoiler alert, I want to say A is Courtney, who is Allison's twin,
Yeah, I was gonna say
and
Allison
one
is
of
a
them
twin.
dead. Yeah, one of them's dead, and is like seeking revenge for the other one.
Mm-hmm.
Emerson doesn't really exist in the books.
That makes the
I
show even
think
creepier.
I think Hannah ends up with like Arya's brother in the books. Caleb doesn't exist. Spencer dies, and not Spencer. Toby dies in the beginning.
What?
I don't know who Spencer is. Yeah, Toby dies in like the first book.
What?
Spoiler alert. Sorry.
It's okay.
Yeah, but
It's not.
I just remember those are the main things I remember.
Wow.
Oh, Arya's main love interest isn't Ezra in the books. It's
Is it Noel?
Noel. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
it's
because
Noel.
I
I
did
want
see that like
I want to say
Ezra.
Noel Cobb.
I saw an article a few months ago, discussing what was different from the books to the show, and they did mention that Ezra was caught. That like Ezra wasn't that into Arya, but he was caught having relationships with other students. And I'm surprised that the showrunners for the show they were like, yeah, let's keep Ezra.
I mean, technically, he did have relations with other students. He was having an affair with Allison before she left, which
No,
is
that is insane. For like that just made
ick.
so many random. It made it worse.
And he was like working with A or something or trying to find it. I
No,
don't know.
he
Ezra
was
was
trying. So
biggest.
what he was doing was right. Actually, I have that later in the.
Oh, sorry.
I
But
have that
just
set up
really quick,
later.
Ezra was not a red flag. He was a flashing neon sign.
He was a
And
flash.
everyone put on sunglasses and then tied a blindfold around the sunglasses and continued walking in his direction.
I definitely did. I mean, I wasn't attracted to Ezra, but I loved the Ezra and Arya relationship. I loved their chemistry, and so yeah, I was definitely somebody that had the the blindfolds on, was just not paying attention to the red flags. I wasn't processing the red flags, which is ridiculous how many times I've seen this show and I didn't process any of it. And
No, I like the Arya and Noel together.
I did like that too. I was around like the fifth, sixth time I was watching around. I was like, oh, this is actually kind of cute. And then they like made him a total weirdo.
Yeah.
I was like,
But
why do you have
like
to
I
do all
said,
that?
because they were pushing the Ezra agenda.
Yeah, that and then they
And I
kind of
did like Spencer and Toby together.
yeah.
Up until he was like A or something, she was like in a deep depression and she pulled like a Bella Swan and
No, that
like
got
didn't want to exist anymore.
so weird.
That was red flag.
He was like, I'm doing it for you. Huh? What?
Yeah, no.
What? Is this love?
Don't think, did I support any of them at the end?
And then
Probably not.
didn't they like start off as like eighth graders or something?
No,
Or
I think they're
freshman
already in high
year?
school. I think I have no idea when it started. I just know that they were already in high school for sure. It's either freshman year or sophomore year. I know that they
Mm,
were pretty young.
yeah.
How old?
I remember that they were mentioning middle school a
16.
lot in the
16,
first
so they're
book.
probably sophomores.
Mm,
Yeah.
which makes everything even
Ew.
worse.
In the beginning, Arya was 16 and Ezra was 24.
Yeah.
What 24-year-old, what like mentally stable 24-year-old is going after a 16-year-old? Honestly,
No, he
I take it
wasn't
back.
mentally stable. He wasn't
Not
mentally
even the
stable.
mentally unstable would go after a 16-year-old. He's a whole other category.
No, like I'm close to getting there, and I'm like, right now at 23, anyone below 21 is actually kind of disgusting to me.
Yeah, no.
I'm like, no, you're a child.
Well, he was her teacher and she was still in school. That means he went through college. He
Mhm.
got his like credential
Mhm.
and then he became a teacher and he's still
Mhm.
dating high school kids.
No, it's weird.
Very, very disgusting. Very 0 out of 10. Someone sue the writers for making that a thing and making them endgame. It should not have been endgame. His endgame should have been Ezra and handcuffs and an orange jumpsuit
I know
in prison.
they teased us. They gave us like a she had like a she got called to the principal's office and fell asleep waiting to be actually talking with the principal, and they're all uh it's just a nightmare for her that she goes in the principal's office and he's asking her about the inappropriate relationship that she's having with Ezra, and then she walks out and he's in handcuffs. And I was like,
And he
that's
should
how it
have
should have
been.
been.
He should have been. But young Noel would have been like, "No, Ezra, let me write a fan fiction where he did not get caught." And they continued living happily ever after.
No.
It's a little suspicious. That pause was a little sus.
No, I was laughing and I just didn't want to laugh so hard in the mic because I'm so sick of cutting my laughs out. I'm so sick of laughing so much. So, uh, so I was laughing in my armpit. But
Noel was throwing themselves on the floor, kicking their feet,
screaming,
screaming,
crying.
"Ezra, no! Ezra,
Oh my god. No, that
you didn't
show
mean it."
used to make me have so many like physical reactions that I would like I actually had to like wrap my hand one time and just like punch something. I was like but I was it got me I was watching it around the time where I was just starting to feel emotions cuz I was
Oh my
like
God.
I remember like I had just moved 2014. I was rewatching the show on Netflix and like I had just had like started feeling like started having periods, so all these motions were coming at me and I would just like I have to punch something. I've grown out of that, but
No, I just knew that I would get frustrated with it
yeah.
mentally. And honestly, that show should have ended a lot sooner than it did, because like they kept like dragging it out, and like at a certain point, you're just like, "What's wrong with you people? All of
Yeah.
you,
No, it's so funny.
specifically the writers.
last
What's wrong with you at the writers?"
last night I got on character AI and made a group chat with the girls and was just like, all right guys, I'm gonna just expose everybody's secrets right now so we can
You
get
are
this
a,
over with.
you were
I'm
a.
like, Arya, stop dating your teacher. That's weird. Spencer, you are also a victim of older men. Get help, both of you. Hannah, you can eat. You're beautiful and you don't need to be stealing things. And also seek therapy with your mom. And Emily, it's okay to be gay. It's okay. And she was like, "No, I'm not gay. I like boys." I'm like, "Girl, I don't know who you're fooling."
But it ain't me.
But it ain't any of us. Uh,
Noel, you should post the screenshots of the character AI
oh, I
in
deleted it.
the Instagram.
I'll have to do another one.
Uh,
But I deleted it because they were like kind of boring about it. They were just kind of like, "What?
they're like,
That's not real. What are you talking about? Why are you telling all of our secrets?" I was just like, "Cause you guys need to communicate."
"Because I'm a."
Because I'm A, but I'm a
You
different
should have
A.
said that.
I'm just trying to get y'all to
You should have said, "Because I'm B."
because I'm B.
And if you don't listen to me, I'm gonna send C after you.
Oh no.
And you don't even want to know what
What D
D has in
does.
store for you, all the
Oh.
way to Z.
You know what's so funny about the memes where they would be like, "Oh, Pretty Liars in 10 years," and they're talking about having, a different letter in the alphabet, is that they had different people being the same letter in the show.
They were all like,
So a lot of the memes upset me because they weren't even accurate to be funny.
honestly though, like the perfect A was Mona. They should have stopped there. They
Hmm.
should have like been like, you know what? That makes sense. That's good. Allison's dead. Let's stop.
Yeah, and then
But
they
that's
brought
why
in
they
like
couldn't do it, because they didn't
Bethany.
answer that question of, they didn't answer what happened to Allison, which was like the biggest one. So they're like, okay, Mona can't be A, so let's keep digging the grave.
Yeah, and
Nice
so
old dog bark.
it would have worked better as a miniseries for sure. But miniseries weren't the thing back then. Oh, sorry.
Limited series, yeah. Yeah. But it is what it is. That trauma in our lives is over now.
Hmm.
And they can't hurt me anymore.
Unfortunately, I'm still going. I'm still unpacking it.
It's
But
okay, I blocked it out.
I'm only
That's for
23.
my therapist to help me with.
I'm still getting there.
That's for my therapist to deal with.
That's what
It's
a
not for
therapist are
me to
there
deal
with.
with.
No, no, no. And then I wanted to touch on the family tree because literally everyone was somehow related to Spencer's dad, who was a man whore.
Oh, I know.
He has 4 kids
The
with 3 different women.
Cece, yes, Cece, Jason,
No,
Allison,
Cece
and
was a the and Hannah's almost stepdad's kid, the pastor.
oh, I thought she was
No, so the kids were Melissa, Jason, Spencer, and her random British twin
Spencer's
Alex.
evil twin.
Hmm.
That was, I'm sorry,
That was
respectfully,
unfortunate.
that was the stupidest plot twist they could
No,
have ever come up with.
no. What upset me the most was that they was that she made that like Emerson's kids are Wrens.
Yeah, because he
That
like impregnated
Yeah, that
Emily.
upset me the most. That one was
Let's
the
also talk about that.
craziest plot line. That's so illegal.
That was assault. That was assault.
Yeah.
Like severe assault. Like why are we just casually like playing it off like that? Like Emily was like severely assaulted. Like
Mhm. She was
she would need
under
therapy.
Yeah, and she was supposed to
She
go
was under
under a different
anesthesia.
treatment, and she what didn't go.
Was
She
impregnated.
was impregnated against her will and against her consent without her knowledge, and then like they didn't even really get to consider what they were gonna do about it.
No,
They were just like,
that was a very
yeah, let's just have the
disgusting
children.
storyline.
And then Allison leaves her.
I thought Emily divorced her.
Or, yeah, one of them gets divorced. Yeah, that's right. No, because Allison left, and then she gets the divorce papers.
On the spin-off, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I never watched a spin-off. I can't vouch for that. So
Yeah,
you may be right.
she took a teaching job in another area, and I remember like Mona being like, "So how are you and Emily?" And she was like, "You know," and then and then it cuts to like
Divorce.
another scene where there's divorce papers being served to Allison because uh, Emily just couldn't do it anymore with whatever was happening. I'm not 100% sure if she like moved on with Paige. That I can't remember,
Oh God, please no. Paige
but
was the worst. Paige was the
Paige was the
worst.
worst. Wait, are
After
we
Ezra,
remembering
of
it
course, because
differently?
like
Was it that Emily was pregnant, or was it Allison that was pregnant?
I'm 99% sure it was Emily.
Who
99% sure.
was Allison pregnant with Ezra's baby? Yes, Allison De Laurentiis becomes pregnant in the 7th season of Pretty Little Liars.
Oh wait, so Allie's pregnant.
Yeah, Allie was pregnant. No, but that was a
I
whole
thought Emily.
terrible thing. So yeah, I remember Emily was gonna donate her eggs, and then she did donate the eggs, and then the bank where her eggs were stored got broken into, and her eggs got stolen.
Eggs were stolen.
And then that's when they, you know, fertilized them with whatever
So
was remaining of Ren. And
so
then
Allie got knocked up with Emily and Ren's baby.
yeah, because that so what was scary about that was that Allison was put in she thought she was going crazy, so her husband admitted her into the hospital, and then one of the nights that
Wait, back
she
up.
was
Allie
there,
got a husband?
Allison got married to Cece's therapist.
I do not remember that.
Yeah, she
Two
got
failed marriages.
well, the first one ended in murder. Um, but uh and he wasn't who he said he was. He was actually in love with Cece. Uh but so yeah, he tricked Allison into believing that she was crazy and had her admitted into the mental hospital. And then when she was in the mental hospital one of the nights, she was like really drugged up, and they inserted the baby, uh or not the whole they impregnated her while she was like under a lot of things. So there was zero consent on her part. And then she thought, when she found out she was pregnant, she thought it was her abusive husband after he died. And then she realized that it was Emily's babies. And then she was like, oh, gotta keep them now.
What was this show? That's so traumatizing. What is happening?
Yeah,
That's so,
it's disgusting.
oh my God. I can't even,
Yeah,
my brain is not processing that. This is
yeah.
why I never rewatched Pretty Little
Whose
Liars because I was
baby
like,
is Allison pregnant with? Series information. Lily De Laurentiis Fields is the daughter of Emily Fields and Allison De Laurentiis. She is also the twin sister of Grace De Laurentiis Fields. She was born during the time jump in Till Death Do Us Part. She was created with Emily's eggs, Ren's sperm, and carried to term by Allison.
oh my God.
Mm-hmm.
Emily was probably like, I'm gay and I never thought I'd have an accidental pregnancy. And look at what happened
Look what
anyway.
happened.
I thought I was safe by
As
dating
safe as I
only
could
women.
be. And she's,
And yet I somehow accidentally knocked up Allison. Oh
oh
my
my
God.
god.
This show is so fucked.
Uh,
This show feels like a fever dream.
oh my god. It
Like
is.
it feels like a fan fiction where like at a certain point you're just like
You're running out of
silently saying to
ideas.
the author like please, like that's enough. Like they've broken up like 50 times and got them back together. They one of them was like kidnapped by like a seagull, and then the other one had to rescue them, and then they learned karate. And it's like it's not believable anymore. Just stop.
It's starting to feel a lot like
Give me.
My Immortal, which I'll introduce to you later
Oh God.
when we get to the Harry
No.
Potter fan fiction.
Listen, at a certain point you need to know when to stop. You need to know
When it's
when
enough.
you're
When enough is
good
enough.
and when you're just like this is ridiculous now. It doesn't
But
make sense anymore.
yeah,
We've
so
done too much.
I mean, I've even seen the cast try to figure out who is connected to who, and they're even like lost, and they got some wrong, and I was just it's a lot. Um, and for Ren to just
You
stick
just convinced me
around
to
as
never.
long as he had was really bizarre.
Yeah, you just convinced me to never go back and rewatch it.
Mm-hmm. You know, and his obsession with Spencer was really crazy for him to like fall in love with Alex because
Who
she's
was once
Spencer's twin.
again a minor. He was an adult,
He was an adult.
questionable,
He was
dating
engaged
her
to
older
her
sister.
sister. And let's talk about that issue. Like Spencer spent all summer renovating the guest house for her to move into. And she doesn't actually get to move in there until the time jump when it's like 5 years later.
Listen,
Like,
listen. I would, if that was me, I don't come at me. I would destroy the house before I left, before my sister got into it. I'd be like, I put all this work into it, now you do it. If I can't live here, no
no
one
one
can.
can.
I mean, of course I wouldn't burn it down, but like all the work, like if I like painted the walls, I'd be like throwing paint on it.
No,
If I
yeah.
redid the floors, I'd be like ripping them.
Because, yeah, she spent a lot of time renovating that, and then her sister's like, "This is so cute. So me and my fiance are gonna move into it because my place is being renovated by professionals, and it's gonna take some time, and we don't want to live in the
Nope.
house with mom and dad. You understand?
I
No,
would
I
rip it
don't.
up.
I do not. Because I
I would
bet
rip
you
it up.
anything that Spencer's parents didn't pay for much. Like, she had to figure out how to pay for it.
But let's also backtrack and let's remember that she's a child, probably didn't have a job.
Yeah,
Her parents were kind of rich. So even if it was her money, it was kind of
it
in
was
a
kind of their
roundabout way.
money. Yeah, that's true. I mean, you
She
still,
probably saved it up. But
people, yeah, I mean, with allowances, you still have to save that up to afford
yeah, yeah.
much of anything. So that's a lot of responsibility. And that's a lot that that she was able to accomplish to a point that her older sister was impressed and was like, "This is where I'm moving into."
Yeah, my money or not though, I would have still if someone tried to if someone was gonna move into a place that I renovated,
Mm-hmm.
destruction.
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 No, I get it, and because it's also you're a child, so yeah, you're gonna feel those big emotions, and you're gonna destroy everything. Those windows, you like how nice it is. try
What's the
try
Glee
running the
song that
heater,
Mercedes sings
huh?
when she breaks
Oh,
Kurt's
oh,
car?
I'm gonna
I
bust
bust
the
the windows
windows
out.
out your car. That was crazy. That
That's
was
all I know.
insane.
But we'll talk about Glee in another
What's
episode.
another episode and another season?
We won't
We'll
go too
unpack
deep
that
into that because
trauma
that's a whole other,
because of Pretty
yeah,
Liar's
that's a whole
trauma.
other
I had
conversation.
to push back the other trauma.
Yeah, let's finish unpacking our Pretty Little Liars trauma.
Yeah. So we have the siblings, Melissa, Jason, Spencer, and her random brothers, twin Alex. But Jason also is a huge victim in this show because he accidentally dated two of his sisters, and one of them
Oh
he
yeah, he
thought
dated
was his brother
Cece.
that died. But that brother wasn't even his brother, that was his cousin. Because his mom has a twin sister, surprise, surprise, who kept
Honestly,
having
the
kids,
twists are just twisting too much.
who had
Just
three kids.
the twists are too twisting too much.
The twists were twisting
I
too
can't.
much. Jason deserves an apology, and then he also got ditched by Arya so she could go marry
Wait,
her
I
teacher.
take it back. In the books, Arya might have ended up with Jason. I know that she was with Jason more
Hmm.
in the books. I don't remember. I'll have to do research. If you know, drop a comment down below because I have
Correct
the memory
us,
of a gerbil.
correct us on our memory because it's not so good.
I
In
have
the
the memory of a
comments,
gerbil,
a
and this was
gerbil.
many years ago.
Oh, you have the
Yep,
memory of a
I
gerbil.
retain very little.
I was
Yeah, I retain very little information.
I thought you said you have a memory of a gerbil. Wait, no, like in the
Yes,
context of there
I'm,
being a gerbil in the
yeah,
books.
I'm only thinking of gerbils all the time.
that that Jason and Arya had a gerbil together. That's what I took. That's what I took from that.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was saying.
Yep. Yep.
What else would I be saying?
Yep. But
Anyway,
anyways, so yeah, and then I that was like my first television experience with like a transgender character of Cece,
and then they made her a villain,
and they made her a villain.
which
and
also
then
was
they
kind of problematic.
and then they killed her.
Yeah. But Pretty Little Liars had a lot of problems that would take years to unpack
Yeah. Yeah.
emotionally.
Speaking of the trauma,
Speaking of
well, I
trauma,
guess
that's my
this
favorite
question doesn't make
sentence.
sense anymore because you said that you've. I was all right. Trauma. Speaking of the trauma, what have you been able to unpack since the show has concluded? I personally
Well, I
realized.
mean, we
Yeah,
just
no,
spent
we just went through
like
all
the
of
whole
that.
episode unpacking.
I didn't anticipate us to go into it so deep. But yeah, like what I wrote down on the script was I personally realized they were wronged in in ways that the show didn't even address. Like Spencer was a child who kept getting hit on by her sister's older brothers and worse, and then it was always blamed on
His
her.
older brother.
The oh no, the sister's the
That
older
would be a
sister's
whole different
boyfriend.
issue. That would be a whole different
The sister's older. That would be
That would be
even
called
a
incest.
whole nother. But that would be a whole nother issue, a whole nother trauma. But her the older
Trigger
sister's
warning.
older boyfriends.
Trigger warning incest.
And then it was always her fault. And then the fact that I fully believed Ezria was okay, that still hurts me. And then the whole Ezra writing a book plot.
Oh my god.
That's why
And
it
the
makes
fact
it
that Arya
worse.
stayed with him.
That's what.
Arya stayed with him through all this. She was like, you know what? I only see green flags. I'd be like, okay, girl. You might need to go to the doctors, but
she's like, guys, I took a
you
second to
do.
read the book, and honestly, it's actually really good.
Like, I feel like I'm portrayed so beautifully. And sure, he might have been in love with Allison and like creepily obsessed with her for a long time, but like, that's my man.
Dr. Phil, is
Cue,
that your man
cue
right
Willow
there?
by Taylor Swift.
Yeah,
Cue
that's
Willow by
mine.
Taylor Swift.
What?
That's my man. That's a cue Willow by Taylor Swift.
Oh yeah.
The
Oh
more,
no.
the more that you, literally, the
The
more
more
that
you
you say,
say,
the
the
less
less
I
I
know.
know.
Wherever you stray, taking for you to take
Take my hand.
wreck my life.
That's my
That's
man.
my man.
Oh god.
Literally Arya. Literally Arya. Yeah, Arya needs some psychological help though.
Oh my
On a
god.
real, on a real
On a
level.
real level, because not only was she attracted and like had their whole abusive relationship with her teacher, she caught her father cheating on her mom, and she kept that secret because she didn't know what else to do with it, and her dad made her keep the secret. Like, how do
Yeah,
you
I'm gonna
put
be
your
real with
child
you.
in that position?
Yeah, I'm gonna be real with you. If I caught like any of either of my parents, I'd be like, nope, I'm snitching.
I'd be taking
I'm,
pictures. I'd be gathering all
you
the
should not have to
evidence.
put me in this position.
Exactly. I also probably would have taken a little bit more advantage of it, but that's younger me talking.
And I would have been crying.
Who would blackmail to get
No,
anything?
I'd be
But no,
okay, red flag.
no. Older me
That's
knows you
what
just
I'm
have to
hearing
tell
is now I
everything.
know. No, now I know why you ship them so much. Because you're a little bit of a red flag too.
I was a red flag as a child. Yes, yes, yes. But I've grown. I've grown. I've learned. I've
Lady doth
changed.
protest too much.
Huh?
The lady doth protest too much. It's a Shakespeare quote. Like you're
Oh,
defending yourself really aggressively.
yeah, I've heard that one.
Anyway,
But there were funny things in the show, like the moms, whenever they were friends and they got locked in the basement and they're all drunk. They're all like, "Oh my god, did you hear
honestly,
that?"
the parents were what?
I said like when the moms were drunk, and they got locked in the basement. That was funny.
I don't even remember that.
They were all acting like the girls. Like
Honestly, the parents are useless though on that show.
they are, but
Like it wouldn't make a difference if they were there or not because that's how little they contributed to
no.
their children's problems.
Um, Ashley Marin, she was always like Hannah was so lucky to have her as a mother.
I don't remember her.
She slept with the police officer to make sure her daughter didn't go to jail for stealing
Oh, you're
sunglasses.
right. You're right.
And then
Didn't she almost have an affair with Arya's dad too?
she almost dated him when he was separated from Arya's mom. But then she thought better of it. They both kind of thought better of it. They're like, this is not something to explore. But they did have a flirty
Sometimes I
night.
think sometimes I think I should do was it crystal meth, but then I think
Better
better
not.
not.
Exactly. They were the better not. And then with but yeah, she she had, I think the only way that the show was really able to bring parents in there was to like utilize Ashley the most, because when she got caught for the illegal things that she was doing, you had Spencer's mom that was defending her.
Oh yeah, didn't she go to prison?
She went to prison because A turned her
Yeah,
in. Um,
I
and then she was
remember
on
that
house
vaguely.
arrest, and then she actually did have a thing with Jason. That was weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God, another. Okay, so again, you are excusing an adult taking advantage of a minor.
He wasn't a minor.
He might have not been a minor.
No, he was
He might have
a
not been a minor,
he was
but
an adult. Because he was taking over the family's real estate business, and
okay, but still
she was
creepy.
working for
Still
him
creepy.
because he was the only person that would hire her. And then he was also like, people are weird in this town; they'll kind of exile you for anything. So
He's like what, like 2 years older than her daughter. Just
I
better
don't know if
not.
that is the age difference in the show though.
Let's see.
I'm not quite sure what his age was. I think they might have adjusted it throughout it, because like, yeah, he was only like a few years older than them, and then he wasn't. I don't know. I know he was in his
Um,
20s. Now, I'm not saying that it was a good thing that they did that. I don't think that should have happened. Ashley had
okay,
a
no,
lot of
no, he's also
questionable. Huh?
no, he's also a red flag. He's around Ezra's age. He's 22. Ezra was 24. He's 22 in season 2, so he was probably like 20, 21 in season 1.
Mm-hmm.
But the girls were 16 in season 1.
And he had a whole group of guys that would record the girls.
Also, he also was trying to hit on Arya when she was 16. What is wrong with these men, and why does Arya attract all of them?
It's actually, I think I have the answer for that, but I don't want to say it because it's so much worse. It's so creepy.
Like, tell me.
It's because she's tiny and she looks really young.
Oh no, that is so much worse.
Yeah, I didn't want to bring it up,
Ew.
but that's what it is. She
That
has the
makes
baby
them
face
that
and
makes
she's
them even
small,
worse.
but that's what predators look for. Um,
That's why the child didn't want to be adopted by Ezra in the spin-off. I saw that on TikTok.
oh yeah, she was all. He gave me a really weird vibe, and then the showrunner for that show, for the Pretty Liars main show, was offended. She was all, "I didn't make a creepy Ezra." I'm like, "Girl, you might want to watch your episodes back."
No, you might need to seek therapy if you don't see the creepiness as an adult.
If you don't see the red flags that you wrote, yeah, you might need to admit yourself to a mental hospital.
I mean, she might be a red flag because she was writing this as an adult.
Yeah,
And we're adults now when we're seeing the issue with it.
yeah.
And maybe don't like promote like that as a good thing to impressionable teenagers who are easily influenced.
I'm just gonna rock in the
Because I
corner.
know because I know during the era I was in high school
Uh huh.
and there was a scandal that one of the students was having an affair with one of the male teachers.
Oh
So
my god.
maybe we do blame Pretty Little Liars a little bit on that. But yeah, it's okay. It's like it's hot and it's sexy to like to be with these older men,
You
and
know, you know
it's not.
what makes it worse
It's
is
not.
that Toby was age appropriate, and then they had him leave the school in a they had him graduate early, but they made him look older, like appear as like an older person too, because he had to work instead of go to school, and he had to be an adult while dating a
Oh yeah,
teenager.
Toby,
So I just thought, I just remembered that like all of the guys were not
except Caleb.
were moved into, oh, except Caleb, but he was even
But
like,
Caleb was an original character. He wasn't even from
hmm
the books.
he was even an odd one.
Yeah, he was a little weird. I wasn't the biggest fan of Caleb,
I didn't like Caleb. I
but
was honestly
glad you were there.
I was honestly disgusted when they had Caleb and Spencer date, and then I was even more mad
Oh my God, I
when
forgot that happened.
when uh when Hannah left her fiance for Caleb.
Yeah, I don't think you should be dating your best friend's ex-boyfriend ever.
Hmm. Yeah, and then she got jealous with Caleb and Spencer. So then she broke up with her fiance. Hannah broke up with her fiance and moved back in with Caleb.
Red flags
And
of
then
the
they
whole
made it
group.
so awkward because they
I will say
were
though, the girls might have red flags, but I think they're victims of circumstance. I don't think that
they
their red flags are born from
are
themselves.
such victims. And I was like watching when I was watching the few episodes that I did get to watch. Hannah was so nice, and she continued to be like she was supposed to be the Allison replacement. She was supposed to be the it girl, the mean girl, but she was always concerned about her friends, even when they weren't really friends anymore. Um, I think the only things that she did
No,
was
I like her.
have an eating disorder, have daddy issues, um, and steal things, and a little bit of kleptomania. But and like I can't really remember her doing really bad things other than the times that she was really pressured to expose Arya and Ezra's relationship to Arya's parents to
Which
protect
maybe
her
she should
mom.
have.
And she should have.
Maybe. I mean,
She should have. I mean, Caleb
maybe,
shouldn't have
maybe
broken
if you have the
the
chance
car.
to expose a predator, maybe you should definitely expose a predator.
Yeah. And she tried to she actually like she followed through with the execution of it, but she was feeling guilty about it and told Caleb, and then Caleb broke uh, the Arya's mom's car, so she couldn't make it to the event that Arya and Ezra were at.
Oh my God,
Yeah,
that's evil.
yeah,
Just
um,
to prevent her from finding out that her daughter's dating a predator,
yeah.
I'm gonna try and kill her.
It just like he just made it not start.
Oh, I was like, what do you mean he
He
broke the
broke the
car?
car. Like she there's like a kill switch on it, so basically if your car tries to get broken into, the switch will stop it from driving.
Oh, see, what I was thinking of is anytime a car gets like messed with in like a movie or TV show, it's usually they cut the brakes.
Oh my god,
I was like,
that's so
oh,
true.
he
Or they
cut
plant
the
a bomb.
he cut the brakes.
Which
He cut the brakes. That's a little aggressive.
imagine he
I
planted
don't
a
think
bomb.
murder was the answer. Murder was not the answer for that.
And I was like, I'm really stressing. Like I can't let Arya's mom go to this event that I gave her tickets to. And he's like, all right, I got you.
He takes out a knife,
And then,
and then that's the start of Scream 8.
oh no, oh my god, these current screams have been. It's just so funny. We'll get into that in another
That is
episode.
a future topic.
That is a future topic. We're not gonna talk about it right now. All right, we are at 51 minutes. We have time to get into your Emerson fix.
Oh, we're gonna cringe. All right. I have a couple lined up. I'm gonna let you pick which one you'd like to hear.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see. Let me find the one that I was starting with. It was so they're all prompts because
Ooh.
when I was reading or when I was writing Emerson, I didn't really like know what to write, so I would have people send me like ideas
Mm-hmm.
and I would write them,
All right.
and then that's what would happen.
Okay.
Okay, let's see. I'm gonna cringe. Okay, this one. I was gonna suggest this one. So it says Emily as a lifeguard, Allison as a beach bum who just happens to intentionally be clumsy and makes Emily rescue her on a regular basis. Um, there is an alternate universe one that I have. It's hard to find, sorry, because my Tumblr is very old and my Emerson fanfics are very old. Um, okay. Fan fiction where Allison and Emily have a kid and it's their first Christmas and Emily decorates the whole house and the kid looks at Allison and she says, "Don't look at me, she's your mom." That one got quite a bit of like good attention. So it's
Aw.
like if you remember how Emily is like obsessed with Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
That was the thing. Yeah, so that's why that one came up.
Yeah, she had her
And
t-shirt,
then
Who Loves
the last
Christmas? This
yeah,
girl.
yeah, and the last one, when the girls are kind of drunk and ask Emily if kissing a girl is different or better, and Emily just ends up making out with all of them, and Allie
Oh.
glaring and shouting, "What the hell is this?"
Oh. Oh. That's interesting.
So, what are you feeling? They're kind of short, so I might be able to read two of them.
Okay. I don't know why the beach one made me want to like die inside for some reason.
Why? Because it was cringy.
It just felt I didn't like the premise. Beach bum.
Listen, they were sent into me.
I know. I'm not blaming you. I'm not blaming you. I'm
They're
just
not my
saying,
ideas.
like how like earlier when you suggested somebody and like I just had a reaction right away. That's just what happened with that one too. So I think um I will suggest the Christmas one, and then if we can the second one, the third one. I mean
Okay.
the drunk one, because that one sounds funny.
Also, this is my first time reading them since I wrote them, so we'll be live reacting to them together.
Yeah, because I've never read any of them. Was not a
We,
fan fiction reader for
I don't know,
Pretty Liars.
sometimes I get notifications that people are like liking them. I'm like, why are you finding my old stuff? This is
Uh,
supposed to be secret.
I tried to look them up. I
Okay.
actually went on Google and I was like, Emerson, somewhat great expectations, and Google didn't know what I was talking about.
Now you have to go to my page. I'm just kidding. Don't go to my page and don't do that. Don't do that. Anyway.
All right, I'm
Anyway,
ready.
counters. How many times have I said anyway today?
Huh?
Okay. Starting.
Starting.
Allison said for what felt like the millionth time that day and was ignored for what felt like the millionth time that day. Emily Field, she said loudly, demanding her wife's attention. So they're married already in this universe.
All right. All right.
Um,
Well, they have a kid.
Begrudgingly putting down the box of tinsel she had been carrying, Emily wearily walked over to the blonde. "Yes, dear," she asked in an exaggerated, sweet voice, hoping that Allison would forget what she needed to tell her and allow her to continue decorating. Narrowing her eyes slightly at Emily's overly sweet voice, the blonde crossed her arms. "Please tell me why our 1-year-old son is currently dressed like a reindeer." "Because it's Christmas time," the brunette replied as if it were obvious, with a cheerful smile on her face. Huffing, Allison gripped Emily's shoulders and lightly shook her. Thanksgiving was barely 2 days ago. It's hardly Christmas time," she said slowly, hoping that if she said it slowly enough, her wife would come to her senses. Clicking her tongue disapprovingly, Emily shook her head. "If you can't find Christmas in your heart, Allie, you're not going to find it under a tree," which I remember as a direct quote from Pretty Little Liars, by the way. But I think she says it to Hannah in the
Yeah.
show.
Yeah, when they're decorating and she's
Yeah.
all grouchy and she's
Yeah.
explaining why she loves Christmas so much because her dad can't always make it back on Christmas, but he can make it back for Thanksgiving, so they do Christmas and Thanksgiving together.
Yeah. Throwing her arms up in exasperation, Allison let out a groan. "Please don't start that again. I swear you said it a million times 3 years ago when I didn't want to help you bake cookies. You said it so much so you actually got Hannah to start saying it." Not once did the cheerful smile drop from Emily's face. "I'm glad Han found Christmas in her heart." Then, pulling a Santa hat from what seemed like thin air, she placed it haphazardly on the blonde's head. "Time to jingle your bells, Allie," she shouted happily and skipped off before her wife could say anything else. Oh my god, that made me cringe so hard.
Are you ready to jingle your bells?
Deciding that Emily was the last cause, Allison pulled the Santa hat off her head and threw it on the couch and went upstairs. Once she entered their son's room, she picked up the boy, who had just so happened to be waking up from a nap. Hey, handsome. She gently picked him up with a smile. I bet you want to get out of this horrible reindeer costume, huh? Just as she was about to take off the reindeer costume, she hesitated. The reason being was that she wasn't sure if she wanted to listen to Emily rant about her not having Christmas spirit, and eventually calling her the Grinch, which would end with Emily sleeping on the couch.
Oh.
Parentheses, it's happened before.
Oh.
Figuring the best way to avoid the argument was to
Cut
ask
it.
Emily directly. Cut it.
Sorry.
Hey,
Sorry, you gotta start
she
that.
called one. She called when she reached the bottom of the stairs with their son in her arms. Can I take this ridiculous costume off Oliver now? Apparently, I named
His
their
name's
son
Oliver.
Oliver. Appearing from around the corner with Christmas lights hanging from around her shoulders, Emily cooed the second her eyes landed on the boy in Allison's arms. Why would you want to take it off? He looks adorable. Turning her attention to Oliver, Emily mussed his dark blonde hair. You like your outfit, don't you, Rudolph? Gasping, Allison covered the baby's ears. Don't call him something other than his given name. You're going to give him a complex.
Oh my god.
I can't take myself seriously.
He's not even supposed to be a
Boisterous.
he. He's supposed to be two little girls named Lily and Grace.
Listen, this was before that season even aired.
No, I'm
So,
kidding. Continue.
a boisterous laugh escaped Emily's lips. Calm down, Allie. He won't grow up traumatized because I called him Rudolph once when he was 1. Snapping her fingers as if she suddenly remembered something, Emily wandered over to a box and put her hand behind her back as she walked over to her wife and son. Nervously eyeing Emily, Allison wasn't sure if she even wanted to know what she was hiding behind her back. What do you have there? She questioned skeptically. My mouth is getting dry. With a wide smile, Emily pulled out a knitted beanie with antlers and a big bright red circle sewn into it. I found a hat to complement his outfit, she said excitedly. Okay, I'm going to finish decorating. You should go get some eggnog. Glancing down at their son, she noticed him staring at her in bewilderment. Allison shrugged slightly at the boy. Don't look at me, she's your mom. At her words, Oliver looked away and reached a hand up, tugging lightly at the antler jutting out the side of his beanie. Several hours and a dozen boxes of Christmas decorations later, Emily decided she was finally finished. Now the family was seated comfortably around the couch, at Emily's insistence, watching How the Grinch Stole Christmas. Nearly 15 minutes into the movie, Oliver, who was sitting in Emily's lap, tapped her leg several times. Which, at 1 year old, this baby is way too smart to be doing all these things. Oh, glancing down at her son with a smile, she ran a hand softly over his hair. Do you need something, Ollie? She asked, not expecting him to answer. Glancing over at her wife and son fondly, Allison gently took one of the baby's chubby hands in her own. Is it Ollie's bedtime? She said with a smile. The baby simply smiled a toothy smile and clapped his hands together. Quithmas, he explained. Oh my god, he explained in an excited voice. Did he? Oh no. Did he just? Allie trailed off in shock. Smiling happily, Emily pressed a light kiss onto the baby's forehead. He just said his first word. Good job, Ollie. Allison smiled happily too for a moment, and then her head slowly turned towards her wife and her eyes narrowed. Was our baby's first word really Christmas? She questioned through gritted teeth. Nervously looking over at her wife, Emily smiled sheepishly. Yes, she said with a guilty smile. Christmas, 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 Oliver repeated and over again happily while clapping his hands together. Letting out a laugh of exasperation, Allison shook her head. You are so dead, Emily Fields. Even when Allison spoke, the baby continued to say his new word. You're so lucky I love you. Emily placed a quick kiss on the blonde's lips. I love you too. She focused her attention back on Oliver. And what does Ollie love? She asked excitedly. Christmas, the baby shouted with a smile. Emily, Allison said at the same time in protest. For the rest of the night, and nearly every night until Christmas, Emily and Oliver would chant Christmas over and over again, much to Allison's disapproval.
Oh my god.
Despite her son and wife's apparent obsession with the holiday, Allison wouldn't trade them for anything in the world. The end. Oh, that was the worst experience of my life.
Christmas.
That was horrible. 0 out of 10.
Christmas.
I rate myself.
Christmas, Christmas,
0.
Christmas.
Okay, the baby was not Stitch.
Why not? Why can baby not be Stitch?
You can't cut this. This has to stay in the podcast.
Stitch. Stitch has to be everybody. Everybody is Stitch. Ohana
All right,
means family.
rate my
Family means nobody is
adolescence
left
writing.
behind or forgotten. Right,
Let's hear your rating of my adolescence writing.
the writing, it really threw me back to when I was reading Wattpad stories.
It's giving Wattpad. That's how bad. Oh no.
It's giving Wattpad, but it's giving good Wattpad. It's giving good Wattpad. Not bad
Oh
Wattpad.
no, I'm giving Wattpad. I was giving Wattpad.
It's just the circumstances of the story. But it's cute. It's fun. I would definitely read it again if I didn't want to. If I really 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 wanted to dig through your Tumblr, I would find it.
Oh,
But no, it was really cute. I liked it.
Sure.
Thank you so much for reading, and thank you for joining again and becoming the new co-host. So happy to take this journey with ya. Thank you to anybody that got this far into the episode and is sticking with this show. I appreciate it a lot.
And listening through my trauma.
And listening to all the trauma.
Oops, the puppies are crying.
What?
The pups are crying.
Oh, the pups are crying again.
Yeah.
I'm closing it out so we can get out of here.
Oh.
Because it's hot. I'm dying. Brady's dying. And there's yeah. And hope you guys join for another episode. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.